games, brains, and a head-banging life. Happy Valentine's Day. And what better way to spend it, particularly in these pandemic-stricken times, than at home watching a horror movie? But you obviously want to watch something themed, of course. But Valentine's Day specific horror movies are few and far between. There aren't that many. And some more than likely you'll have seen. And we've certainly covered on this, such as My Bloody Valentine and My Bloody Valentine remake. So there were those two. So you start searching around, you're looking, and like you put in something like Valentine's Day into a search engine, or like a streaming device, and you just end up with rom-coms. You do.
You're not going to get anything.
You do. So it's very, very difficult. You don't need to be more specific. There are other ones like Lover's Lane and stuff like that are semi-themed around it, but actual Valentine's, like, and that embodies it. Kind of like, I see it similar to like Christmas horror, in the sense that, you know, what makes a Christmas horror is something that's got Christmas as a backdrop, or does something embody it. It's the very, very difference. And the movie we're talking about here, as you will have seen in the title, I think embodies it quite well. The location, the time, the look, the feel. And all wrapped up in a early 2000s slasher movie. In every bit way, you know. It's Valentine from 2001, an American slasher film directed by Jamie Blanks. Apparently it's loosely based off the novel by the same name by Tom Savage. I no idea about that, no idea about the book, never read it. I mean, it says loosely. So I can't be like looking at the film and going, well, if the book's like that, I don't want to read that book.
Because it's
loose.
You can take loosely dark ideas and go, it's based on that.
Which is, I mean, is it the basic idea of a killer killing people on Valentine's Day? Hardly original shit. And it is very much a movie that embodies its era. Watching it these days, you laugh. You laugh because we're not just talking about how it's filmed and the tropes and stuff like that, but we're also talking about the cast. You're talking about a cast that, for many, were riding high during this period and were big names around this time. Talking of which, Denise Richards. There's one example of an actor who was kind of riding high. I don't know, what year was Wild Things? Because that was the thing that kind of...
that was the late 90s, 97, 98.
That was it. That was the biggie, weren't it? You know, that kind of pushed her into sort of stardom. Beyond that... Starship Troopers, that's where... I don't really...
what else?
The Craft?
No, it wasn't
The Craft. Nope. I haven't seen The Craft, so I wasn't sure, but...
Have you not seen The Craft?
Don't get off topic. So like, you know, but Wild Things I think was a specific thing. It was obviously designed, you know, oh, look how sexy she is, and this film plays up to that by putting her on a hot tub again, because obviously it's that infamous Wild Things scene, I guess, a pool or hot tub or something. I've not seen it. I just know. In fact, I know that. Says volumes. I think.
I feel she looks quite synthetic. I know. I'm not saying she's. I don't know. Each to their own, but I think she looks a bit synthetic. But hey, anyway.
David Boreanaz, of course, Buffy and Angel fame. After this, I believe, surely after this, correct me if you're wrong or if you're a big fan, but Bones, when did that start? I mean, that's running. I don't know if that's still on, but it was running or has been running for a long time. But I think this film was coming off the back of Buffy, at least. Possibly Angel. I'm not sure when Angel started either.
I've not really got into either of them, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, Marley Shelton. Her face rings a bell. Beyond that, I don't know. Jessica Capshaw, of course. What's a grown Truman Show? She played Truman's wife in that.
That's not her.
That is Jessica Capshaw.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No, that's it's not.
Who is it then? Let's find out.
It's an older actress.
Let's find out. I'm going to check what Jessica Capshaw's been in while we're doing this literally right now. Yeah, I'm sure that's her.
No, I'm sure she's like an older one that plays like... Not Laura Dern. Who is it? She plays... It's not...
Oh, maybe you're right, actually. You might be right. I think I'm getting the faces confused. Just for Capshaw. Minority Report. Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, no, there's not much... That's really weird.
It's just because Truman's wife is quite a famous actress. She's been in quite a few other films.
Okay.
So she's a bit older. But yeah, that kind of... A lot of them have got the face for... These kind of films, haven't they? Yeah.
There's not that much distinctive, but I really thought it was her. But anyway, and Katherine Heigl, who I only really know for that comedy film with Knocked Up, Seth Rogen and people like that. But she's kind of got a very small part in this. The film did all right in that it had a 10 million budget, earned back about 36 million, which is not fantastic. We're seen as a bit of a failure. But still, you didn't lose money on it, so there's that.
Team were taking a punt on like a fun slasher film, so you
Yeah, I
Should
mean,
do all right.
yeah. The problem is it was 2001, and the reinvigoration that occurred from Scream had already started to wane because Scream 2 had already kind of taken away from that fact and stuff, and then everyone was trying to cash in on this new slasher boom. So by 2001, with like the likes of Urban Legend and stuff like that, everything was disappearing again. We were getting close to, not quite, but we were now heading towards what would be the paranormal horror found footage era from 2007 onwards. So overall, what did you think? Let's get out now. What did you think of this film?
It's just I think mostly just bit dull, bit bland. Like the cast. Like I said, most of the time when I was sitting there going, it wasn't her. Oh, okay. Yeah, of course it wasn't. It's different hair, but cast a bit bland. Story's a bit stupid. Some threads that would be more interesting weren't fully developed.
Yep.
So like the whole revenge thing wasn't developed, wasn't kind of drawn upon. The fact that all the guys were arseholes.
Yeah.
Like all the guys. And like they had to kind of shoehorn a lot of like female empowerment kind of tropes in and stuff, and it's like,
okay,
I thought a bit shit. Not awful. I wouldn't put it on again. That's kind of definition of like if I enjoyed the film, but I wouldn't put it more than a 5.
Okay.
What would you?
I mean, to me, it's your bog standard slasher horror, and an uninspired one at that. One with plot holes all over the place, some very weird decisions, an ending and twist or double twist that is arguably stupid and thinks it's probably really clever when I don't think it actually is. Its cast is all right for what's required of it. You said about all the men being kind of dicks in this, and I hated that as well. The only one who isn't is Dave Boreanaz, but then he at the end of the film, he does things that are head-scratchingly weird.
Yeah.
I didn't love its portrayal of an alcoholic in this. And the deaths and the murders were nothing special. One I thought was downright stupid. And it was kind of like, what, you just did that because it's Valentine's?
And there's a trope that runs all the way through it with the killer that you pointed out. So the whole nosebleed thing, we'll get into that. But
we'll get into that, yeah.
Stupid.
So yeah, we're going to go through it now. And the setup begins at a high school dance on Valentine's Day in 1988, because it is one of these films. We've got to go back to see what drove the killer to do his thing. And it's actually, we meet Jeremy Felton, who is apparently a bit of an outcast. But this bothered me, right? So he's an outcast and all that, but the kid has balls of steel.
Yeah.
Because he's going around this dance asking several of the popular girls to dance.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're shooting him down.
Yeah.
Shelley, Lily and Paige are shooting him down in insulting ways. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd rather be boiled in oil.
Yeah. It's mean shit. It's mean kid shit. Yeah. But the fact that he goes after like 2 of that, he still goes to the 3rd one. I'm like, my man, he's not taking the, you know what I mean? They say no, they're mean, he respects that, and he moves on to the next one. Yeah. I think it's fucking brilliant. Kate also says no, but she's much more nice about it. And that's important because Kate is effectively the lead. This is important for later on. He does end up hooking up with the fat girl, I use that in inverted commas, Dorothy, under the bleachers. But a group of boys come over and start mocking them. Dorothy then, like, embarrassed to be hooking up with this boy. And here's the thing, he's not like a freaking dribbling wreck of a wrong. I didn't really get it.
And they describe him later on as a pervert, but like, we don't see that.
Oh, that's because of what Dorothy does. Dorothy, when confronted by the boys who are teasing and mocking her, decides to say that Jeremy attacked her and tried to assault her, that he forced himself on her.
And that's why the girls think pervert. Because
then Dorothy later on will reveal that wasn't true.
Yeah.
I thought it was horrible. Like, fucking hell, girl.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? That's some horrible ass shit. The boy, Jeremy, is stripped, beaten and humiliated by the bullies. And it's here we see the very important trope of this movie overall, which is the nosebleed. Yeah. As his nose starts to bleed.
I've got a League of Gentlemen flashback. Eating a special meat, bleeding everywhere. As well, in that school dance scene. Yeah. No teachers.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite a prolonged fight scene, and it was like, okay, it's a school dance, you know, at least, you know, get them beaten up for a little bit, but no teachers, no adults to kind of stop this. But
it was 1988.
Oh, yeah.
Different time.
Anything goes.
The movie then jumps 13 years later. What happened to Jeremy? Actually, I'll say it now because we get this information about halfway through the film, is that he went downhill after that beating, got into a lot of trouble, expelled, and ended up in a reform school where he eventually just disappeared into the ether. So it's time to start offing some of the girls from the start. who are all growing up now. Beginning with Shelley, which is Katherine Heigl's character, who is a medical student conducting a late-night autopsy after being out with friends. That started me off on the back foot. I was like, wait, what? She's gone out for a meal.
Oh, it was a bad date. It was a bad date, wasn't it?
It was a bad date.
Yeah.
You're right. It was a bad date with some really, really obnoxious guy. She's gone out for that. It's not gone great. She finishes that up. And then, like, you know, he's all like, oh, I've earned a kiss and stuff like that. You crap like that. The whole shit, we're like, oh, for goodness sake. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to work. It's night. And goes to work. It's not like she's going to put some files away or do some paperwork.
Yeah, she's full on autopsy.
It's an autopsy.
I was getting annoyed she wasn't putting a coat on, like a lab jacket. I was like, put a lab jacket on.
It was just like, what the fuck? That's just weird. We get some jump scare attempts involving another co-worker.
Of course.
Before she finds a Valentine's card that is less loving and more deathy.
I liked him. I like the design of him.
And she is attacked by a man wearing a black trench coat and a cherub mask. She runs away. Yeah. He chases. She hides. And he ends up finding her inside a body bag. He ends up cutting her throat. And we then see the nose starts to bleed. Right, let's have it here then. This bugged the absolute fuck out of me. Such a bugbearer for me. When there's nosebleeds, and you get a lot of this, the blood comes out of the mask hole. Yeah. This is a plastic mask. That would not work. Yeah. The blood would run down his face. Yeah. If it was that severe, it'd be dripping down his chin. It would not come, like, that would require the mask to almost be sealed. Like latex. Yeah, latex, for it to come out of the nose hole. This is not a latex mask. It's a clear plastic mask, a cheap plastic mask.
That wouldn't be the effect, would it?
So every nose, it wouldn't be, but every nosebleed, you say I'm nitpicking, but because they focus on the nosebleed so fucking much, it's very hard to not nitpick about that. We then meet the rest of the grown-ups. At Shelley's funeral, we have Kate, played by Marley Shelton, Lily, Jessica Cuffle, Paige, Denise Richards, and Dorothy, Jessica Capshaw, who will all ask questions from a detective that later, in one of the most pointless scenes possible, gets a serious hard-on for Paige. Yeah. And it's so weird. And, like, it doesn't come back. No. Because after that scene, the next time we see that detective is his head. His bad makeup head floating in a pond. What? Yeah. Well, it's so stupid. I don't know if they were, like, desperately trying to play up. Or they wanted to make Paige a serious sex symbol in this, Denise Richards. So every bloke lusts after her. She's sultry, she's sexy and all that. To the point where, like, it's not even the detective is like, there's chemistry between us. And what are we going to, like, oh, can you stay behind? What are we going to do about this? She's like, well, if you find the killer and all that. He's like, no. What about this? And he puts his hand on her leg. And it's just like,
you're a policeman in position of power. It's like, cringe.
It's here we then find out that Kate has been in a relationship with Adam, David Boreanaz. But his drinking problem has split them up. He is an alcoholic. They still love each other, seemingly. And he is trying to stay clean. At the start, he says he hasn't had a drink in 3 weeks. But she won't get back with him until she's sure. Which, to me, oh, God, how much did I hate this?
It was just the opportunities to kind of be supportive. And she just didn't. So she was just
She's judgy?
Yeah, very judgy. And she'd go out to a bar. Like you said, you could have gone somewhere like a meal, restaurant.
That's it. They meet up to talk, and they go to a bar, and she orders an alcoholic drink, and I'm like, oh my God, give the guy a chance. You could go anywhere. I mean, let's go to a bar, but also like, he's 3 weeks. There's a high chance he's going to slip off the wagon. Yeah. The moment he does later on in the film, she's such a bitch about it, and there's pressure of, well, if you don't stay clean, we won't get back together. Yeah. I mean. Give the guy a break. Like, give the guy a break. If he's an alcoholic, he's trying. And you got to be a lot more supportive than that. She doesn't. She's horrible about it. And that bar scene, really. And like, it's like, oh, he's like, I'll have a club soda. I'm like, and she orders an alcoholic drink. Yeah. She's drinking alcohol around the alcoholic. He's only a couple of weeks short of being clean. Yeah.
She could, like I said, they could have gone somewhere else to meet up.
It would just, if she'd even made a point of saying that, look, we won't go to a bar because, you're going to struggle and stuff like that. And he could have been like, oh, I'll be fine. But then I'd be like, well, look, she understands. But she never seemed to come across understand. She was just like, oh, if you drink again, I've never seen, it's just like, oh, wow. Because he's banging into her. The girls all get horrible Valentine's cards, all signed by J.M. Ooh, Jeremy Fulton, maybe?
Seems like just an excuse.
Melton, Jeremy Melton Fulton.
Yeah, JM.
Yeah.
It just seemed like an excuse when they're trying to work out who JM is, just to be like, to go through all the people they've probably been horrible to, and like nerds from school. And
Yeah.
And I don't think it's clear like how old they are supposed to be as well.
Yeah, if we were to go on looks, yeah, I mean, I'd put them early 20s. Like, they're not in school at any point. In fact, we did talk during it about not really understanding what and who they were doing.
Yeah.
Aside from Shelley at the start, we never see jobs really. We never see any in school. They're doing this. They're just sort of existing.
Yeah, because Shelley's clearly doing the autopsy. Study to be an autopsyist. That's the word.
One disappears. One disappears. They think she's gone to LA for her work.
Yeah.
But what that work is,
no one knows.
Dorothy is probably not working because her father's got
rich.
money.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it, really.
There's just no layer of blandness to these characters, and makes them interchangeable as well.
Yeah, there's not much definition here at all in any of them. But they all, after getting they all get me and Valentine's Day cards, all signed by JM. But Lily gets an extra special one though with some chocolates, and she bites into and finds there's maggots. I was like, how's that possible? That she bites into the maggots, and the maggots are like, they're on the chocolate. Like, how did he get the maggots in?
I know.
You know? But hey, it's funny. They kind of just laugh it off as well. They're like, oh, that's disgusting, and then laugh it off.
Yeah, I'd genuinely be perturbed by that.
I think so too. At least certainly want to brush my teeth. But the big story here is that Dorothy, who has a lot of money, as already said, conflict with her father's new wife, where you get some subtle racism, which, you know, makes you really endear yourself to Dorothy, that kind of thing. And a boyfriend who she thinks can do no wrong. Her story is that she's always been fighting the stigma of being a fat kid and is struggling with confidence now. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the fact, that sort of fat angle. Dorothy as a child is a big bone girl. There's enough to say that. Calling her fat might be stretching it a bit.
Yeah, it's just so... Such a cliche as well, like such a Hollywood thing that we've seen it in lots of things where like, Friends is a big one, other films where it's fat, like Amy Schumer in that film.
Yeah, Trainwreck.
Yeah, like it's just that whole idea of it.
Yeah. I mean, it is, but it's the whole body shaming thing. Now it's fine that Dorothy. I've got no problem with Dorothy having, like, as an adult, having sort of issues with her body, attaining to that. But Dorothy looks fine. Dorothy looks great. And
they ramp up fairly quickly her character and her neurosis quite quickly to tie up the film at the end.
Oh yeah, you're right. It sort of steps along and then goes woof to try and tie into a twist ending.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, okay, yeah. So 5 minutes before you had at the end, 5 minutes before you had a conversation with someone, and you could go, whoa, she's a little bit off kilter. Anyway,
her boyfriend is Campbell, Daniel Cosgrove. He's lost his apartment and ends up moving in with her. It's implied he might be a bit of a freeloader as his internet startup company, I do laugh when I hear that, is collapsing, and he has a bitter ex who he may have stolen money from. You know, this is where we start trying to do threads to who the potential killer would be, and Campbell's one of the suspects. The next major event occurs at a pretentious art exhibit run by Max, Johnny Whitworth, who is Lily's boyfriend. After he tries to get a threesome going, it made me laugh. Because his introduction, I was like, oh my God. Like, I thought the women were being really rude to him.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I was on his side. I was like, guys just being all right, you know? And then it's like, oh no, he wants to have a threesome unannounced with his girlfriend and she's not happy about it. Great, he's another dick. She storms off and gets lost in the maze of exhibits, somehow. She's then killed by the killer. And this is where I went, really? Because we've had a knife, and this time now we've got a bow and arrow, because of Cupid.
Oh, yeah.
How we got a bow and an arrow inside the gallery. I mean, yeah.
It's just a tie into the whole Valentine. Nothing else really does, though.
That's it.
I thought it was just like a Valentine-esque.
After that, it's all knife shit. And an axe and stuff like that. But this is the only one, But he ends up shooting her, and good God, the convenience. She falls through a door. She gets a couple of arrows in her chest, backs through a door that's over a fire escape, effectively, falls down, lands directly in a big trash bin, and the lid closes, effectively hiding her body for a period of time.
It's good, handy.
Handy, right?
Yeah.
The others assume later that she went to LA on a work trip. That's it. Assume.
Yeah. No, like, I texted, not got any reply yet. Oh, she's gone to LA.
Yeah, there's one more mention of Lily later on at the end of the film, but that's it. Everyone just forgets she even exists.
Yeah.
The police begin to suspect that JM is Jerry Melton, and the girls all have to face their shitty actions from the years before. This is where we find that Dorothy, she admits to the others that he didn't attack her, and he wasn't a pervert, and she just said that because she was embarrassed. Randomly, elsewhere, Kate's neighbour is stealing her underwear. He's broken into her flat, and he steals her underwear, but is interrupted by the killer, who dispatches him with an iron.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that was his face. Yeah.
Okay, I guess they wanted to up the body count. We're like, well, let's just do this.
Yeah. They didn't just run the mill, stasher. Okay, because he's there.
Yeah. And it's all one big build to a big Valentine's Day party at Dorothy's mansion, where the entire town, it seems, of bland lookalikes are invited to dance to generic music and, weirdly, the odd new metal
Oh,
hit,
yeah.
because it was 2001.
Oh, of course.
Bit Disturbed we heard in the background, didn't we?
Yeah. I'll get my coat. There you go. At the party.
Campbell is killed in the basement with an axe after he goes to put on the heater or something like that. This bugged me, man. Like, a big mansion like this has a pilot light. He had to go down with a lighter to light it in this massive mansion.
Yeah.
But he's killed with an axe, and the others actually figure he run off, which is where you get this Dorothy change, who accuses them all of being jealous and stuff like that. Then we get Campbell's ex, who turns up at a party to confront Dorothy about the money, and she ends up getting off in a really long sequence involving dumb hiding, and like she hides inside the sauna. I thought we were going to get a sauna death.
Yeah, we've done a bit more inventive, at least.
Yeah, she doesn't. She waits like all of 30 seconds, then comes out, and then gets killed, and like, at least it's probably the best graphic death in it.
Yeah.
And she gets her head pushed down on that sharp bit of glass.
Yeah, so at least that was a bit more brutal.
Yeah. We get a very long scene of Paige cock teasing some douchebag. The geezer is a douchebag, but I didn't love Paige's character in this as well. Correct. I was kind of, my thing was like, the guy is playing all suave and, yeah. And he's like, look, do you want to go upstairs to the bedroom and stuff like that? I've got something to show you. Now, I think that is very, very...
Yeah, like, fair enough they're going to hook up. Like, his reaction to, like, showing her something was just his dick and said, I wasn't like going to suck it itself or something. Was it something like along those
he's a douchebag. But she plays along. This is the thing, right? She plays along all the way up to this point. Plays along. Yeah. She kisses him. She snogs him. She's all being sexy. She dances with him. Yeah. She plays along all the way up to this point. And then suddenly it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I didn't get that.
No, I think it's just fact like, I think they was going to hook up, and then she realised like lines like that. Oh God, okay, you are that kind of dick.
But she is too.
Yeah, I disagree with how pouring burning wax on his knob.
Well, yeah, that's what she ends up happening. She ends up tying him up and then pouring like wax over his naked body.
I would have tied him up and just taken his clothes. Could have done that. I just felt like the wax is a little bit too far.
It is what you said. It's kind of like, look how powerful she is.
It was shoehorned in. Like, I was like, these characters are bland. I don't care about any of them. They're a bit vapid. I mean, is that the point of them, to all be vapid and like? I don't care about any of them, and that's a big flaw of the film.
Yeah.
Because one person, like even like the main character, is dull as dishwater, not very supportive of a on-off boyfriend, dull. So.
Paige, after that business, goes to the hot tub. This is the hot tub scene, and this is where the film really, like I said, to me, is just where we talk about Paige. I don't have to sleep with you just because we went to the bedroom. All that, fantastic. It's great.
Oh yeah.
All right, strong character and stuff like that. She gets a one up on the dude and all that. The very next scene, the film is like drooling over her in a bikini, getting in and out of a hot tub, like which is it? Yeah. Which is it? But this is where she ends up getting killed, and she gets attacked by the killer again in a really long scene. It starts with a rose. She looks around. She does that annoying horror trope. Is anyone there? Hello? Who is that? And stuff like that. But she ends up getting trapped in the hot tub, a drill in her arm, and then she eventually he throws the drill in and electrocutes her. This causes the power to go out, and the party effectively wraps up. All the people leave.
It's amazing how quick that drunk people leave.
Oh, it was literally like instantly.
There's no process. Like, oh man, it was like a couple of people said that, and then they're all like filing out nice and quietly and orderly. And it's like, no. People would be like, and amount of people like the security at this party and stupid. Just to ramp up, just to get to the end.
Well, yeah, we are right at the end here. As Kate and Adam argue, as he is now drunk. Drunk David Boreanaz is one of the worst acting moments in this. One of the worst, because the worst is about to come up. But my God, he is not a good drunk actor at all. She then rows with Dorothy about who might be the killer. She thinks it's Campbell. Dorothy accuses it could be Adam, and all that kind of bollocks. This is to set up the ending. This is all set up now just for an ending that really doesn't work as well as it could have.
No.
Kate also hears from Max that Lily, during a party that never got to LA, she realises Lily's in trouble. She then calls the detective and hears his phone outside, finding his head in a pond. Let's break this scene down. I was screwing at this, if you remember. I was screwed about the fact that she starts ringing this phone just at the doors of the house and hears this phone ringing. What is feels like half a mile away.
Yeah.
She walks for so long to find this phone buried in bushes by the pond.
Yeah.
And then the detective's head float up, and it's a terrible model. It looks wank.
It's awful.
Yeah, it really, really does. Kate now becomes convinced that Adam is actually Jeremy with a new face.
Yeah.
That he got reconstructive surgery and all this. Question with that is how, well, he tell you now, he actually did. Yeah. He actually did. And that's just like, wait, where on earth do you find the money to transform yourself so perfectly? Like you were talking, think about people who get plastic surgery and reconstructive face surgery. Picture them in your head.
Skin tone as well.
And he made himself look like David Boreanaz. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like incredible, incredibly stupid. But it also does not help to allay Kate's suspicions that he now decides to be super fucking weird and super sinister.
Yeah.
Like, it is a complete, like, he's all like, come dance with me and all that, I love you. And it's just, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. And it was just...
And he steps out of the darkness as well. He's like, hi, Kate.
Yeah. And he was just saying it's like a ruse to throw you off, to kind of throw you off again, going, oh, okay, so he's definitely the killer. And then it has him afterwards snapping out of it and say, oh, sorry, I was drunk. Well,
we'll get to that. We'll get to that because I want to continue this terrible sequence of events where she knees him in the balls. And drunk or not, if someone kneed me in the balls and I caught up with them after that, my first word would be like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
But he's like, he catches up with her and he's like, oh, you know, I don't blame you and stuff like that. And I'm like, the fuck is going on?
Oh, God. Yeah, like it's so many... Oh, ridiculous.
She runs through the house, trying to get away from him, finds bodies and a gun. It ends when she goes up the stairs as the killer jumps out or falls out. This is disputable. We slowed it down and rewatched it. You think fell out. You're wrong. I think you're wrong. I watched it. It's jumping out because of the angle. So the killer jumps out and they both fall down the stairs. At the bottom, the killer then sits up. Bear in mind, sits up like the Undertaker in a fucking wrestling ring. Bolt straight up. At no point says a single word. That's very important. And Adam, who got the gun, shoots the killer. He then takes the mask off, because now, like you said, this is where he's like, all what that sinister stuff has gone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you okay?
Lovely again.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my God. And he takes the mask off to reveal that's Dorothy. And honestly, you're like...
Really?
No, it's not. You know it's not straight away. You know it's not. Because all throughout the film, it was clearly a fucking man.
Yep.
It was clearly a man. Plus, it doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense why it would be Dorothy.
No, and a little bit of dialogue wouldn't make her look like a complete jealous person that would do that to her friends.
Yep.
And that's why we was querying about, was she thrown
We'll break the twist down once we just get through the last bit, and then we'll come back to it. Kate is sorry, he's okay, and they hug. Then we see blood drip on her face, and it was revealed that he has a nosebleed. He's the real killer. He is Jeremy Milton, and so on. The film ends. Fucking hated this. I hated this fucking twist, because to me, there's so many questions. So, Dorothy as a killer, and Kate would believe that. It just makes no sense. Yeah. Then we get to what you're talking about, the falling out or jumping out. So basically, what they're suggesting happened is Jeremy knocked her out, or Adam knocked her out, put her in the outfit, the coat, and the mask on her. Then when Kate was carrying the stairs, pushed her. Yeah. They fell down the stairs, and then he killed her when at the bottom.
Yeah, so she didn't have... originally I thought, they did that so she didn't have a chance to...
Yep. Protect. And it is quick. It is quick.
Yeah.
So I will suggest, let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Let's say it is, she was pushed out.
Yeah, and her sitting up was just her kind of coming to at the bottom of the stairs.
Nope. This is why it doesn't work. First off, she doesn't. She jumps out. I'm telling you, she jumps out. Second, she doesn't say anything. When they roll on the stairs, there's no grunting, no noise that would give away that is clearly a female under the mask. Yeah. When they go down to the bottom, it's not like she's not that cold. She sits up almost immediately. She does not say a single fucking word. She doesn't make a single sound, sits up, gets shot, and that is apparently it. No point does she say a single word.
You could have had Adam and the killer, top of the stairs, wrestling with like almost like a dead person, stabbing a person, dead, throws a dead body down the stairs. Oh look, it's Dorothy.
But then it wouldn't work again. Because people don't wrestling grunts, noises. We're gonna quickly see. Yeah. So and he couldn't have a mouth taped up because obviously that would then reveal
What? Yeah.
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 So to me, it just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
It's so basic, like in the sense that like you're really asking me to detach so much from reality. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. I would have preferred it if Lily had found out that he had some sort of like reaction to finding out he was, or maybe like turning away and seeing something that linked him to that. Just shit.
Lily, you mean Kate?
Kate. See, they're so fucking bland. I'm just.
And the overall arching twist of the fact that Jeremy Melton, who, let's be honest, was bullied badly, but I it's a bit of a stretch to go this far, then got such great reconstructive face surgery, somehow paid the hundreds of thousands of dollars that it would cost to do this, and then decided because Kate was nice to him back when he had a dance that she was the love of his life. Woo! That is stretching it.
Oh, definitely.
And the thing is, like, it's not even like all of that's done. But the film overall just isn't that good. Yeah. There's nothing special in it. It is slasher 101 shit. Yeah. People run, people scream, people die. There's nothing spectacular in the gore department. We don't have characters you really want to get behind or really, really like. It's got some terrible acting, as you said, from people like Boreanaz when he's drunk, and from just the general blandness of the lead female cast. Yeah. And that's about it. There's really nothing else I could... I'm trying to think of something that's worth recommending about it.
No, I can't think
I mean, I do appreciate the Valentine's thing.
Yeah, I think if they're going to do more of it, do more with it, be more entertaining, be bigger with it.
You reckon? I don't really see how much bigger you could go. Like, it's themed around it, it's parties around it.
But the party, you don't see much of the party, really, like, because the power goes. That just
you wanted to see more of the party?
No, not more of the party, but I would prefer more people died in more elaborate ways during the party. So, I mean, it's just a bit, the power's gone, so that clears out most of the cast.
Okay.
It's a bit of a cheap party clearing method, and it just seems so unbelievable that people would let leave. Oh, power's off, party's over. Okay, bye. I've had my 15 beers. I'm literally going to walk out quietly. It just seemed too shit to make me believe in this party atmosphere.
It is a film that relies on a ton of conveniences and a ton of things to occur. Listen, whether it's being shot with arrows and then falling into a bin so your body isn't going to be found for a little while, whether it's a party goers just happily clearing out when they need to. It's all about that. Yeah. You know, it's a ton of, or hearing a phone ringing half a fucking mile away. It relies heavily on that. So it's just not well stitched together. It's not well stitched together. And you can tell the pacing's off because we do have that random pervy neighbour getting killed. Yeah. As if they went, we've gone like 15 minutes without someone dying, but we can't kill off any more of the main cast. Yeah. So let's just kill someone random. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, okay.
The pattern of it as well. It's just like, if it's just going to be girls, go all just girls rather than like random dudes that could be just fodder for, is that the killer? Yeah.
But there you go. That's our thoughts on Valentine 2001. Let us know yours in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl as well as Big Cartel where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?